Greetings, Mythics. How are we? Yes, we are back with another live stream, 10 AM UK time. I say that every week, and it's not 10 AM, is it? This is 5 past. Ken, what's going on? Get here on time. Do apologise for being late. I do apologise for being late. My name is Ken Boyter, but you probably know that because you've been watching the Edra Tales Twitch channel or the Edra Tales YouTube channel, which I now have gained a few more subscribers. So thank you very much for subscribing. If you are watching this back on YouTube, I appreciate that. Twitch isn't for everybody. I used to live stream these on Facebook on our Edra Tales Facebook group. However, Facebook, when they introduced their reels, you know, the little 60-second clips, they promoted that. Live streaming, they totally tried to bury. They kind of ruined it. It got very glitchy. Hence why I came to Twitch. Hello, Jonathan. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Grockle Snook. Now, I know you know Jonathan, but that's just for people that are new. So if you are watching this back on playback, again, I thank you so much. If you are new to the channel, please consider following the channel like that rude guy has. He is the last person to follow the channel, so thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It means that you will, and also if you click the notification button, you will get notified when I go live. I'm normally about 3 to 4 minutes late. Sometimes I've been a bit later as well. I'm a busy guy. All right, I'm a busy guy. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, if you hit the subscribe button, that would be fantastic. And also the notification bells, because then you will know when a new video has been posted. Hello there, Dylan. Good to see you, my friend. How is everything? And how are you, Jonathan? How's the writing going? How's the Kickstarter? I keep forgetting to back it. That's very naughty of me. Jonathan does have a Kickstarter at the moment. Shakespeare versus Cthulhu. I will do it straight after. Because it is a game book. And as you know, regular viewers know that we live stream game books on a Wednesday evening. It's okay, Ken. We know it takes time to make sure you look this good. Exactly. This doesn't happen by accident. Not anymore, anyway. Not at my age. I was thinking, yeah, I do need to, last week or something, I need to cut my hair. I need my hair cut. So I'll do it straight after again. It's not too bad, it's passable, but, you know. I do have a murder mystery this evening, so, you know, I like to look cool with a new haircut. Shakespeare versus Cthulhu, that it. What Dreams May Come. It's funded at 6:59 AM this morning. I love that, but I'm more impressed that you know it funded at 6:59. I like the precision of that quote there. Congratulations then for Jonathan. Shakespeare versus Cthulhu, What Dreams May Come. That is Jonathan's next game book that he is writing. So yeah, congratulations. That's fantastic news. That is, what was it, £10,000? Was that the goal? See, that is very, very impressive. That is very, very impressive. If anybody has already played, you know, Jonathan's game books, you will know their quality. They're quality, mate. They're quality game books. So now we're heading towards the stretch goal. Yes, 10k. Yeah, 10k. That's impressive. That's a lot of backers. How many backers is that? That's something like 60 backers, 100 backers. No, that must be more than that. 200 backers. That's very impressive. So Jonathan, you know, has been writing game books for years and years and years, ever since he was that high. And he's only that high now. No, hang on. Dylan's going to jump on me there for doing a height joke. 250. Yeah, that is very impressive. As an independent publisher, independent game book writer, you know, Jonathan's not got like, you know, a massive marketing budget behind him. That is very, very impressive. Like all of us that are kind of doing it on our own, independent. We just want to get our books out there. So you've got to build up an audience. And Jonathan's been doing that for a number of years now. You're not wrong. Oh, you weren't very tall when I started writing game books. No, that's what I mean. Jonathan, I think you're about early 20s, weren't you? You got in on the action early. Jonathan is one of the original fighting fantasy game book authors. That's his pedigree. He wrote a number of fighting fantasy. I always forget which ones, and I always forget how many. So Ace Game Books is his series of game books, and he's on, and again, I remember you've written at least 10 of those now, haven't you? This is probably your 12th or 13th. He's also written game books on other properties, Doctor Who, What else have you done? Did you do a game book of Warhammer? I started writing them when I was 11 or 12. Oh, okay, you genuinely did start when you were 11 or 12. I was commissioned to write Spellbreaker when I was 20. That's amazing. That is amazing. So yeah, so there you go. So any kids out there watching this, 11 or 12, you keep writing. If you're an artist, keep drawing. You know, if you're a musician, keep doing it, because it can turn into your career. It takes time to make Ken look this good. How long to do a proper... Hey! There it is. Well, my hair was looking a bit better, but I needed to take some photographs. I've been making some masks. So I did need to put on some masks and take photographs. The reason why I'm late, should we get into it? Should we get into the nub of the matter? Oh, that's very nice. It's very cold. It's very cold. A bit of troll's blood to wake you up in the morning. Some of you may know, talking of game books, this is a game book game show. We are doing a Devilish Dilemmas, there you go, Devilish Dilemmas game book stage show. My friend Dave Vanderberg, the lady in red, he and I have been developing this game book game show. I've been personally developing it for about 2 years. Dave then came on board about a year ago. In fact, it was for my birthday, where we did like a workshopped version of it. We've done a few more workshop versions of it, work in progress. This is another work in progress because we're getting so close to kind of the finished article. And so this one is more full-on props, full-on costumes as well. So when you develop a stage show, those of you that don't know, if you've never done it before, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but yeah, you've got to develop everything. So you've got to develop the script, obviously, and anyone that writes, you know, that takes time, developing the script, the characters. And with the game book aspect of it, you've got to do the branching narrative. So this is not just an ordinary stage show. This is a mind bend, because we have to jump about on the stage, and I don't mean physically, although we'll probably be doing that as well, but you know, we have to switch. So if the adventurer, we're going to get, it's an interactive stage show, as you can imagine, we're going to get one person from the audience to be the adventurer, and they're actually going to be choosing how the story unfolds. The problem with that is we obviously have to know the lines for each branching narrative. Well, I say we. Dave has to know his lines for each branching narrative, because I am the story master. I am going to be the DM, and this is the script here. Hello, Sally. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Hello to the rest. Yes, hello. So, yeah, okay. Jonathan has written, yeah, Fighting Fame, Doctor Who. I knew it was Doctor Who. Star Wars. Oh, okay. You did the Clone Wars. That was very considered brilliant, that cartoon, wasn't it? Sonic the Hedgehog. It was Warhammer. I was correct. Warhammer 40k, Marvel, and Arkham Horror. Yes, one of your most recent ones was Arkham Horror. So look at Jonathan playing with the big boys. So we do have, this is the script, and the way we've done it is, I don't want to give too much away, actually, I don't want to spoil it too much, but the first sort of 5 minutes is setting the scene. We're setting the scene. We're in the Rusty Axe Tavern in Ferrum's Forge, my fictional city, in my fictional world of Edra. We're in the Rusty Axe Tavern, and basically I play Loquacious McCarbre, who is the greatest storyteller known to anybody or anyone who's anyone. I'm a storyteller extraordinaire, and I don't want to tell a story. I'm a bit drunk, and so Melch, who's my apprentice, played by Dave, he is like bigging me up, going, yes, the world's greatest storyteller, da-da, he's going to tell you a story right now, da-da, and I'm just drunk, I'm asleep. Then we have a bit of bants about how Melch is going, come on, you've got to tell a story. And he goes, and I'm like, no, I've got a hangover, I don't want to. Nah. And then I say, I'm not doing it. And he says, well, look, you know, we promised the landlord, Brutus the Bonebreaker, to tell a story. And I'm like, no, I don't care. We'll just sneak off in the morning. We won't tell a story. He will never know. And then it's like, yeah, but we haven't got any money. So then I say, oh, okay, right, well, let's do it. And I have this cunning idea that rather than me tell the story, we'll get an adventure, we'll get one of the audience members up. So it's kind of a play within a play, if you see what I mean. So we've set the scene. So that's the script part of it. So I will have to learn this. Boo. However, the actual game book part of it, this is my script here. So as you can see, I'm not going to memorise every single entry because that would be crazy. The play's the thing. That's Shakespeare quote number 1. Or is that a Cthulhu quote? I'm sure Cthulhu says that, doesn't he? In the Lovecraftian, just as he emerges and he goes, I will devour the world. The play is the thing. And then he proceeds to perform All Labour's Lost. It's a quote from Hamlet. Of course it is, yes, because it's a play within a play. Hamlet right at the end, isn't it? The play within the play. It all ends in tragedy, doesn't it? They always do. All Shakespeare plays. Every single one of them. So as you can see, I've got the number of entries tagged along here. So that if they say, you know, okay, you're choosing that, I'll go, right, that's tag number 4. Then I can quickly get to it, you know, and say the name of the shop piques your interest. Always one to exploring a flea market or a bric-a-brac fair. You push open the door. Yeah? And then it might say, you know, oh, do you want to choose a magic object or do you want to spin the wheel for a magic object? And they go, oh, we'll spin the wheel. Okay, blimey, this actually works. I've not tested it. Do Hamlet cigars still exist? Yeah, from the scars. I hope they do, because they were a fantastic advertising campaign back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, weren't they? So I'm very pleased with this. Now, this should all work. This should work. For the actual performance, so this is still a work in progress. For the actual performance, I will get a better book. I'll get a proper book, and I'm going to make it look all medieval and, like an old worn journal, old storybook. But I still will use the tag system, but it will just be better. This is just stuck on by labels. And again, work in progress. You just try things out. This is the first time I've tried this system. So we'll see. Now, we are going to be on script, because the script still can be changing and emerging. So it's best, I always find, I don't want to relearn a script. Well, Dave doesn't really want to relearn a script. So he's going to have to, so once we nail the script down, then that's what we're going to do. Now, the plan for this is obviously to find its target audience. One of the big target audiences is obviously the conventions. UK Games do live shows. I think a lot of them do now. Dragon Meet, do they do a live show? There's loads of Comic Cons. So hopefully we can sort of get into there. I don't know how we go about it. Contact the organisers. Do we have to pay? Do we not have to pay? Is it a 50-50 box office split? Who knows? But that seems to be the very niche market. Lirin, hello, good afternoon. How are you after your mini earthquake? Hopefully you're still okay. Did you manage to get back to sleep? Ken needs a medieval book. With that one, well, yeah, one of his old diaries. There it is. Yeah, so hopefully we can get into some games conventions. And also, we could try and do it in fringe festivals. So this would work very well in the Edinburgh Fringe. It should work well in that sort of environment, the fringe environment. And also Dave said that we might be able to do corporate as well. Imagine a corporate company, part of a team building or just a relaxing, end of a, because sometimes they hire places out, and they have like a bit of entertainment, not necessarily team building, but just a bit of entertainment. This would go down really well because we've got audience participation. So obviously, it's quite fun, when you take the mickey out of the boss, etc., etc. Sorry for being late, I was sleeping. No worries, Martha. We know how much your jaw is aching and painful. So if you need sleep, I'd take it when you can. Hopefully your jaw's feeling better. Did manage to get back to restless sleep. Okay, still kind of grumpy. Going to do a Snoopy theme mini expo where Van Gogh's painting including Starry Night and Sunflowers, are repainted with Peanuts theme. That's brilliant. That's really cool. That sounds brilliant. That does sound really brilliant. Yeah, it does seem to be a bit of a thing, doesn't it? Mashup. And the thing about doing a mashup is you take something that's already popular and then you redo it, you know, you reimagine it, as people say. And so you've got a built-in audience already. And that's kind of what we're hoping with these Devilish Dilemmas, because there is a game book role-playing game audience already. And then it could, so that's the main audience. Then you've got a wider audience of people that are into tabletop gaming, you know, nerd stuff, geek stuff, all of that, Marvel Comics or whatever, you know, fantasy stuff. You've got that wider audience. And then this also has the appeal, hopefully, and the way that the way that I've written the play is the game book is that it's family friendly. So the actual story is family friendly. Now we can cater, we can have kids in the audience and do a kids show. Equally, we could do a teenager show. Again, you know, aim it a little bit more adult. And equally, we can do an adult show. So if there are no kids in, you know, Dave and I, and the way we could do that is through our ad-libbing. Because Dave and I are very good at ad-libbing. We've been doing it for years, doing the murder mysteries. So Dave and I can ad-lib, you know, judging our audience, if you like. You know, we can be a bit more adult if it's an adult audience, or do the sly references, you know, to things for teenagers. Well, not that I know what teenagers are into, but do you know what I mean? We can up or down when they're up and up. Not really describing it very well. We can change the level of banter. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Did Edward Monk's The Scream... Oh, even Edward Monk's The Scream is replaced by, oh no, Snoopy surrounded by little Woodstocks. Oh, little Woodstocks. Sounds fantastic. I'm glad you got back to some sort of sleep, though, because that's a bit of a shock, having an earthquake wake you up. Oh, I want to go to that exhibition. Sounds brilliant. I loved Snoopy when I was a kid. I loved it. I had a little Snoopy. He wasn't very big. I bought him. I think it was one of my first things I remember buying with my own pocket money. So I couldn't have been that old. I was about 8 or 9. And I was singing in the choir for a local church. But we were going to Ely Cathedral. We actually sang in Ely Cathedral. And I remember walking past... Oh, was it Cambridge? Can't remember now. The memory is merging away. It might have been Cambridge Cathedral. Has Cambridge got a cathedral? If Cambridge hasn't got a cathedral, then it's Ely Cathedral. Hello, cheap viewers. Oh, here we go. Right, we'll get to you in a minute. Yeah, so it's Ely Cathedral, I believe. And I was walking past a shop, and I saw this little Snoopy in the window, and I thought I'll have to buy it. And it was £5, and I did have it. And I bought it, and I loved this little Snoopy. And then my granny, bless her cotton socks, she made a Woodstock for Snoopy. It's brilliant. And also, she made Snoopy a Spider-Man outfit. It was fantastic. She cut little holes so his ears could stick out, and also a little hole for his tail. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. I loved it. I did give it away. I don't have them. I did give it away to a friend of mine, primary school friend of mine, that when she was about 18 or 19, she had a baby, and I bumped into her, and I didn't know. And I said, oh, I've still got all my old, you know, toys. I was just going to take them to the charity shop. You know, my cuddly toys. I'll bring them round. So I just gave her quite a few toys, of which that was Snoopy and Woodstock. So we went to a lovely home. Okay, thank you very much for your comment there. I can't pronounce your name. Anashel134. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. What? Okay, for one, Ashnell134, my viewers are never cheap. They are classy viewers, all right? I won't have you besmirching my viewers. So if anyone has a YouTube channel or Edra, no, not us, we don't do this sort of thing, but if you want to go down this dark path of cheating and getting cheap viewers, go to streamboo.com. I'm sure they're trustworthy. They're not going to rip you off. I'm sure they are trustworthy. So there we are. Thank you for your comment. No, that link isn't good. No, exactly. Don't click the link. I wouldn't recommend it. But do drink troll's blood if you can get hold of some. It's very nice. You can't get troll's blood in every area of Edra. But Scragmoss, you can definitely get it in Scragmoss. So, as part of the Devilish Dilemmas, I've been working my behind off, getting all the props ready, all the costumes ready. Dave has been looking out for some costumes as well. And I have managed. Well, I was very pleased with this. I went into one of those really cheap shops. And look. Hello, Mr. Foam Sword. We've got a foam sword. We got a foam sword. Hello, look at this one. These were like $1.99. I was so happy. Because I was thinking on stage, we really don't want heavy items that can break, or more importantly, can hurt people or kill people. We certainly didn't want real swords on stage. Imagine that. Big fencing swords. So yeah, so very happy with these. And also, I've got loads of what have I got? I've got loads of props. I don't really want to give too much of it away, but yeah, this is for the car park to let people know where to go. Look at that. There you go. And I've created all these props. I've got little cue cards for people to, to the audience members that come up on stage. So they've got lines. They know what lines they're saying. So, because we're going to also get non-player characters that the adventurer will interact with, and they're going to be other audience members. Oh my, what a coincidence. A literal beagle just no way! Just passed as I'm munching into my afternoon Edra apple. Love it. And wait, that looks like a sword from Legend of Zelda, does it? Which one? This one? It really is just a generic sword, but yeah. This one's meant to be a pirate one, obviously, because pirates always have round swords, don't they? No, that's not the... This is meant to be a guard. This is a guard. So I might also show you a few masks. I couldn't find any monkey masks. I needed a monkey mask, so I made one. Look at this, out of cardboard. I feel like Blue Peter. Look, there we go. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Especially if you put your hair like that. Yeah. Oh, it's a cutlass. That's what they call it. It's a monkey pirate. Arr. Monkey pirates. That's going to be in my game book. Monkey pirates. Arr. Monkey pirates. I'm loving monkey pirates. Arr. Reverse me cutlass. My jaw is still painful when the pain is high and I can barely open my mouth. Oh, Martha. Big hugs. Big hugs. Big monkey hugs to you. Hopefully you can get that sorted out. I don't know if you can you take any more meds today? The pirates Pirates and Monkeys. See, I did wonder. Yeah, no, friend. There we go. Is this? That's the sequel, isn't it? The Monkey Pirate book. I did wonder of Magic and Monkeys. I did wonder. Yeah, should I do that? So that's what I'm gonna have to do. So of Something and Monkeys will be all my books based on Kin and Sir Iron Shuntcrank and all of that. Cat hugs from Taiwan. Ah, Ken's next creative project. Yeah, I think it is. You don't need a mask for a monkey, Ken. Hey, there it is. Monkeys are my favourite animals that are traditional, not mythical creatures. But of Pirates and Monkeys. Yeah, because then it's a standalone sort of brand, if you like, within my brand of an Edra Tales novel. Yeah, so because I do want to bring back my Of Magic. So Of Magic and Monkeys, all these characters will come back in another book. They won't be the next book in the series because these are all standalone books. But yeah, further down the line, you'll know, oh, it must be about Kin and it must be about Sir Iron Shuntcrank and all of that. So there we go. Yeah, maybe they have to go and take on the pirate monkeys. That's brilliant. Right, don't let me forget that idea. I'll have to write it down after the live stream. Unless I've got a pen. Have I got a pen? I've got a pen! I've got a pen! Always have a pen. Right, of pirates and monkeys. Do we like that? Is that a good idea? Pirates and monkeys. Take on the Pirate King. The Monkey Pirate King. There we go. Write it down now. I have written it down. I've written it down on a scrap of paper. This is my to-do list for my game show. A lot of it's crossed off, though, because I've pretty much done all the game show. It is tomorrow. Put the mask back on. Yeah, you cheeky monkey. See? Cheeky monkeys. So that is the monkey mask. It looks good, doesn't it? It's very, very effective. Very cheap. It literally cost me nothing. And I also made a Dragon Lord mask. Ready? There you go. How about that one? I am the dragon lord. What about that one? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Again, all made out. Oh no, I did buy the base mask and I cut off. That's pretty freaky. Now we're going into freaky territory. Hello. That's probably better, isn't it? You probably. Oh, good. He's shut up. So I cut the bottom off of an actual mask. It only cost me £2 this mask because it was on sale at Hobbycraft, and then I just added cardboard to it and sprayed it gold. That looks pretty good. Grocklesnook will be the merchant you can visit to spend peanuts to to level and skill up your character. Yeah, I can take pain meds today. Oh, that's good. I also done my jaw exercise, but it doesn't feel like it's helping. I would, if you've been medically told to do jaw exercises, I'd keep doing those because, you know, it might not feel like it's working, but it might be. It might stop it seizing up. But I'm no medical doctor, obviously, so follow their advice. That looks like the clown of Gwen, Lord of Sunlight from Dark Souls too, does it? I've not played Dark Souls. Look at that. It's all gone eyes wide shut. It has. Again, I've not seen that film, but yeah, don't they do horrible ceremonies? Well, that's the sort of impression I want. It's funny you should say that, Jonathan, because that's kind of the territory that we're at in the game book, although it's not as dark, quite as dark as that. I don't want to give the plot away. There you go. I'm going to cut my hair after this. There we go. Look at that. It's not a wig, by the way. People think it's a wig. Sometimes in my murder mystery, if my hair's this long, I've had guests go, "Is that a wig?" and actually try and touch my hair, and I'm like, and it's always women. It's always women. I'm like, what gives you the right to sort of think you can do that and that's acceptable? I think it's because, you know, it gets too long here, so it just looks, because it's quite boof. You know, I use a bit of gel to kind of control it. But if it's like this, they think it's a wig because it's sort of away from my face. And so they try and reach out and grab it. And I'm like, sorry, what are you doing? So it's like, what if I grabbed your hair and said, "Is that a wig? Is that a wig?" It's like, no manners. Mr. Kubrick's best films are still Spartacus and A Clockwork Orange. Yes, they certainly are. Did he do Spartacus? I didn't realise he did Spartacus. Spartacus is a cracking film. Clockwork Orange is very, very disturbing. It is a really good film. But he himself withdrew it, didn't he, from the UK? When it first came out, it was cool. I think there was a lot of copycat kind of behaviour. People really sort of, you know, the youth of the time really adopted it. I don't know if they were doing the horrible stuff, but certainly the look and the kind of culture. So he withdrew that. And I remember doing film studies at college. When was this? This was the early 90s, and it was still banned in the UK at the cinemas, or anywhere. I don't think you could get it on DVD or nothing, or video. So, but it was showing in France. There was a screening of it in France. So our film teacher organised a trip for us to go over to France to actually see the film. And it was in English, obviously, but it had French subtitles. But hey, we saw the film, you know, for film studies. Yes, it is. He's the baldy man. The Baldy Man. Oh, I don't know what that reference was, Dylan. Sorry. As you know, I ramble on about 7 different things at the same time. So, that is the show. We're looking forward to performing it tomorrow. It's a work in progress, so if it doesn't go, if there's bits that are a little bit sticky, then we'll change them, So, hopefully it's slick. I nearly stabbed myself. Hopefully it's slick. And the show is shaping up nicely, so we're very kind of happy with it, how it's shaping up. This will be the first time where we've got all the props and all the costumes. So Dave does do a few costume changes. Sticky bits. I knew someone was going to pick me up on that. I just didn't think it would be you, Jonathan. I thought you had a bit more class than that. No. Why did I say that? So the props, a lot of them will be replaced. But this was just, right, what can we get together in 3 weeks' time? Because, oh, look, we've got a show to do. So it's quite good organising something because then it forces you to really concentrate on it. Edra fans, are nothing if not predictable. Absolutely. Oh, yes, they are. So that is kind of the main thing. The way, because I've got too many projects on at the moment, the way that I'm not crying to myself at sleep of an evening, because I've got too much on, is I've been basically saying, right, what's the next deadline? What do I need to focus on? What do I need to get ready in order to fulfill that deadline? And so that's basically how I've been doing it. So the main focus has been the Devilish Dilemmas. So once that's out the way, the next thing that I've been doing is I will be getting ready for the book launch of Magic and Monkeys. It's not a game book, by the way. This is an Edra Tales novel. But yeah, I quite like the fact you could play a monkey pirate though. Maybe I could do a game book of that as well. So this is my, I guess it's young adult novel, but I've not dumbed it down. Adults should enjoy reading this as well. And if you love mechanical monkeys, then you'll love this. That's how I'm going to sell it. If you love flying iron monkeys, you'll love this. Speak for yourself. I always get giggle fits when I watch the video. Jonathan. I know. That was good. I've forgotten actually because when I went back to edit it this time round after starting it about 2 years ago, or a year ago, it must have been. Yeah. I did watch it. I was like, this is actually really funny. Jonathan just could not. You couldn't stop laughing, could you? You big fool. It was great. We had such a sensible conversation. No, eventually we did get stuff out of you, we did get an interview out of Jonathan. So I'll be launching that. You always make me laugh. Oh, stop it now, stop it. Yeah, see, compliments. See what compliments do. You can kill people with compliments, can't they? Because some people don't like compliments. I've had to grow into enjoying compliments over the years. You have to learn to accept compliments. Anyway, so the 18th of 18th of May, now I'm armed with loads of dad jokes. Hey, that's what we like. 18th of May, the Hearts Book Festival that's taking place in Hertford and Ware. That's when I'll be launching my book. I'm going to be doing a book launch. I'll be reading from the book. I'm also going to be doing, being part of the panel, hopefully, because we're doing a fantasy forum again, where last time we talked about the nature of evil. This time round, I don't know what it is yet, but that's still going to happen. So hopefully I'll be invited back onto that. And also I'm doing a workshop. Using the Magical Objects deck and the Mythical Creatures deck. So I'll be doing a 1 hour workshop, probably for kids more likely, I guess. But it is open to adults as well for creative writing workshop, using the Mythical Creatures deck and the Magical Objects deck to inspire people to come up with their own short story, or they can come up with their own mythical creature, or they can come up with their own magical object. It kind of just depends, you can't really do much in an hour, but you can certainly come up with ideas and you can start fleshing stuff out. You won't necessarily finish a short story in an hour. However, You could create the characters based off of that. You could create the plot. You could create the, So what I was thinking of doing is taking one mythical creature and you take one magical object and then you mash them up into a story. Murder in the cafe, killed with condiments. Hey, there was just ketchup everywhere. Ketchup all over the walls. Bit of mustard thrown in. Don't know what that is. The detective, the crime scene, just brown sauce. Is that brown sauce? I don't know. Send it to the lab. The lab boys can tell us. So that I'm going to do a workshop on that as well. So I'm very excited about that. What else? Oh yeah, and also with the Story Spark cards. So I will be selling the Story Spark cards on the stall as well as the book. And I'm also doing a sample of my game book. So it's going to be a free sample. It's only going to be the 30 entries, so it's not the full thing. It's just to tell people about the Kickstarter in October, and also to get them interested. If they enjoy it, they might back it, or they might sign up for to actually be notified when the Kickstarter goes live. Also, I am going to be doing a sample of book 2. Martha, you'll be very grateful to hear this. The poetry version, the verse version. I'm going to be writing 1 chapter, maybe 2 chapters of the next book. So I've been very distracted. You all right, Guckle Snook? You all right? Getting a bit drunk. It's getting a bit sleepy. Oh. I have been distracted from writing that. I should have started writing it as soon as I finished the previous one. So I want people that have bought the book last year to know that, that book is still coming, but it's just taken longer than I anticipated. So I'm going to do a sample of that and give that away for free. And also there is the novel Legends of Grievous Ironblood that will cover book 1 of the poetry version and book 2 of the poetry version, because each poetry version is about 12,000 words long. So that's not enough for a novel. So I need to expand all of the storyline. So if you're a big fan of those books, then hopefully you'll enjoy the novel version, the prose version, because it's got stuff that's not in these version. It's got all of that, but it's got more as well. Yes, I need that book so badly. Oh, thank you, Martha. That's very kind of you. So I do apologise for it taking so long. Anyway, so that's the next thing I'm gearing up for. Plus, another thing that I'm gearing up for is the UK Games Expo. So that is going to be, I think it's the 31st, isn't it? It's the last day of May. It's always a bit clunky, that, because it's the first weekend in June. So they can't just say the 1st to the 3rd of June. They have to say 31st of May to the 3rd of June, or whatever it is, 2nd of June. I always find it a bit clunky. So it's Friday to the Sunday, the first weekend in June. So I'm gearing up for UK Games. And what I want to get done before that, because I'm going away on holiday, and I'm going to be taking board games, I have a captive audience. They can't say no. I've got my murder mystery, my devilish deaths, as I'm calling it at the moment. But if a publisher picks it up, they might not like that title, but who knows? Devilish Deaths. Murder mystery board game. And I want to get the prototype finished in order so then I can play test it when I'm on holiday. However, what I've got to do is I've got to fill all these cards with actually the plot on the clues. So for example, who have we got here? Colonel Reginald Maynard Smith. He's a witness. And then on the back, when you pick up his, it's like, oh, you're questioning him. And he says, I've been sitting next to him the whole time. We've been playing cards for just over an hour. Nothing seemed wrong, etc., etc. I don't want to give too much away. So I need to put those. We've got witness cards, we've got clue cards, we've got forensic cards, we've got hunch cards, we've got different cards that you can do on your go. You can move into different rooms. I've got, like Cluedo, I've got a board that is just like the blueprints of a hotel. And the way that the game's designed is that you buy, the base game comes with maybe 2 or 3 cases, and each case has a different layout. It can be a different location as well. So I think the first 2 I might do in the hotel. And then, so you just lay out the rooms onto the board. And then when your character, or when a character says, yeah, I want to go into that room, you simply flip over the card, and then you know, and then you can see what's in the room, you can see what witnesses are in the room, you can see what clues are in there, you can see what forensics are in there, and then you go through the whole game like that. However, there is a time limit that you have to solve the crime within 24 hours. You don't get any sleep. And so various things happen on certain hours. So it's a mechanic for me to introduce. So it's like you're investigating it live. It's not a cold case. You're investigating it live. So other things can happen throughout the board game, like other events can happen. Lehman's put, going to see a vampire film tomorrow where a bunch of bad guys who bit off more they can chew when they realise too late the supposed little kid they held hostage. Let's just say never drinks wine. Okay, so like Cluedo meets Hero Quest. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I guess it is. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, because I have put in where you level up. You can level up. You get prestige points, and you level up. So the more prestige points you get, the more that benefits you in the game. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you move about. Yeah, I've got little tokens, and then so when it flips over, it might say move the waitress from to this room, and then you can question her again. And because I thought that, say the waitress is in, you discover her in one room, and she's a bit intimidated because there are lots of people listening to her. She might just give you a blank statement saying, oh yeah, I didn't really hear what was going on, and lie to you. But if you go to another room and it says move the waitress into this room, which might be a quieter room, might be the library, for example, then she might say, and then you question her again, it might say, look, I'm glad you're here on your own because I wanted to talk to you about this. Actually, this is what's going on. So you need to question the witnesses more than once, put it that way. Because I wanted it to feel like you're investigating it and things can happen that's out of your control, and you're like, oh right, oh no, we've got some new information. So that's, I think that's quite a clever mechanic. Yeah, that film that you're watching, I don't think I've ever seen it. Home Alone, I've never seen, never ever seen. I've seen clips, never seen it. I think I was just at that age where I was too old. To this day, Hero Quest boards is one of the most versatile generic board I've seen, with the right combination of door, furniture, stone placement. It literally an endless combination of dungeons. It is fantastic. I'm gutted because I never got Hero Quest. A friend of mine bought Hero Quest, and when we were 15 and 16, we got into it. And I used to go round his house every Sunday for about a year, I think, at least 2 years, pretty much every Sunday. And we used to spend like 3 or 4 hours doing Hero Quest. It was fantastic. Really, really loved it. Yeah, no, it was good. It was just 3 of us. It was me and my mate, Pete, and Andy was the DM, and it was literally us two. And I think I played a barbarian or something. Just went around smashing things up. What's not to like? I have Dungeon Quest. I do have Dungeon Quest. I think I played once, and then I didn't have anyone to play it with. So I have got an original Dungeon Quest, which I don't think is quite as good. I also had the original Warlock of Firetop Mountain game, but I don't think I've got that anymore. I got a feeling I sold it at a car boot sale, which I'm really gutted about. When I was about 19, I sold off a lot of my geeky stuff. I had all the little talisman metal figures. I had loads of Warhammer metal figures. I didn't paint them, I just liked collecting them. Sold them all in a car boot sale for like 50p each. Hang my head in shame. So yeah, so that is the next things that I need to be developing, and it is going on deadline. It's going on deadline order. So once then the 18th and 19th of May are out the way, and that's all done, then what I'm going to be doing is carrying on with my game book, To Kill a Thief, Devilish Dilemmas. So I think I'm going to use the same branding. I've not really talked to Dave about that, but hey. So Devilish Dilemmas, an Edra Tales game book adventure, and yeah, basically you play a thief. and it's loosely based. It started out, some of it is sort of got its origins in Talisman, because I did write a Talisman game book, not all of it. I wrote about 30-40 entries. Couldn't get in contact with anybody. It's gone nowhere, so I thought, actually, I really like what I wrote, so I've kind of started again. My original game book was Curse of the Myth Mage, or Curse of the Myth, was also one of the potential game book titles. And yeah, so I've sort of started again with my game book. However, I have used certain entries from Curse of the Myth Mage, because there's certain things that I liked about that game book as well. Did they have cars when you were 18, 19, Ken, or was it horse-drawn carriages? Well, we used to go to school on penny farthings, actually. Yeah, we used to get up on there, you know, because we were small, we had to climb up on the beer crates. So my dad would put me up on the beer crate, and then he would hold the bike, and then we'd swing my leg over, steady on. I was only 8, and then off we'd go. The problem being is my legs were too short to reach the pedals. So I had to wear stilts as well. So I got calipers on. It was a whole kerfuffle. I used to have to get up 2 hours early just to get to school. It was crazy. It was crazy. Those were the days. But I do miss them. You know, kids these days, they know they're born getting lifts to school in their Mercedes Benzes. Hey, whatever next? Whatever next? So To Kill a Thief is the next. Oh yeah, that's what I'm also doing, is I'm working on To Kill a Thief game book. I'm working on the cover. I'm going to be doing all the illustrations myself, so I'm furiously in Photoshop trying to colour in my picture that I drew. And I'm going to be giving a sample away of that as well at the book festival. Again, there's 30 entries. It's going to be a small little booklet, just to give them a taster. I'll put the details of the Kickstarter in the back of it. So again, I've been trying to so I've got a lot of stuff to get ready now for May, but I'll do it because I'm an idiot, and I'll, you know, stay up all night doing it. Dragon Strike. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that one. Dragon Strike was Admirable HeroQuest copy that came with How to Play RPG VHS. Those were the dream. Living the dream. VHS supplement. Did they have cards? Oh, I've read that already. So yeah, so I'm going to do a cover reveal when it's finished. So I've got a lot to gear up for. But yeah, so then I'll be excited about the Kickstarter in October. Then my plan going forward, I've had to really think long term, because I have been neglecting my mediumship and the development of that and the marketing of that, because that really is, I think, how I can go full-time self-employed. So what I'm going to be doing is, next year, I think I'm just going to be launching 2 books, because I'm already about 60,000 words into my Legends of Grimmest Ironbook novel. Plus I want to do a game book, maybe 3 books then. But I also want to be writing the verse book, book 2 of the Legends of Grimmest Ironbook verse book. So that's kind of what I'm just going to try and stick to that. However, I am having quite good success with my games, with my board games and card games, so I will sort of be doing that as well. I'm not going to be doing any less projects, am I? Let's face it. Right then. 18 years ago, actually managed to use one of those cranked coin operated Nickelodeon machines at an old-timey whiny pancake shop. 70 seconds Charlie Chaplin shots were delightful. Do you mean like, yeah, the where it shows a little film? Because we used to have those as kids, and that you'd get a wheel, and it had little separate frames of a film. It might have been a Disney film or whatever, and it had about 9 or 10 of them, and you'd slot it in the front, and then you go and so it looked like it was moving. Is that what you mean? But more of a like an arcade machine. What the Butler saw mechanics are more fun. Oh, I see, yeah. Cheeky. They were like, it was like, women taking their clothes off, wasn't it? What the Butler saw, wasn't it? Like the maid dusting. I guess they could get away with it because it's like, well, it's not a film. These are all just still images that you have to make into, you know. Oh, look, it's a coincidence that they're all going to make up a speeding film. Maybe that's how they got away with it. It's much more innocent time back then, wasn't it, I guess? Yep, the ones I watched was Charlie Chaplin digging himself out of prison. Oh, I think I've seen that. Only to be chased by a bobby. Hand-cranked laugh for 20 pence. Yeah, oh, fantastic. Yeah, they're great. Oh, yeah, it used to do that, I think, didn't you? But these were like the little kids ones. So if you grew up in the 80s... Fantastic. There we go. Wow, we are done 50 minutes. Wow. I've gone over time. There's a surprise. Although, no, actually, well, I was a bit late. But anyway, it's 50 minutes we've been doing this. Oh, the other thing I was going to do... Should we end on this then? I've entered a little competition at the school where I work at, where I do part-time work. And they have an annual writing competition. Staff are permitted to enter, but they have, you know, staff entry. I've won it every year or been joint winner. And I think that's mainly because I'm the only one that enters. I don't ask how many people enter. Obviously, the one that I won it jointly, there must have been 2 of us that entered. So anyway, this is called To the Empress the Queen Falls by Loquacious McCarbre. Now, each year there's a different type of genre or a different theme. So, but I always set mine in the world of Edra. There's the map. There's the map. And this one is meant to be a thriller. So I thought I'd end by reading you my entry. It's only 1,000 words. That's the max. So hopefully it won't take too long. So this is called... What's it called again? To the Empress the Queen Falls. The only other criteria is that it needed to have one key word, because each house at school is a different house. So you've got Nightingale. They're all after famous women. You've got the Queen. You've got Florence Nightingale. I've said that already. Marie Curie. I can never say her name. You've got other ones as well. But so you had to put in another... Oh, no, it wasn't that based on that. But one of the words was Queen. Anyway, one of the words was Queen. So I put that in the title. And the competition is chapter 1. So you're to write the first chapter of a novel, but you want to make it enticing enough that people want to read the second chapter. So I've got quite a few of these now that could potentially be novels. So, chapter 1, The Tall Stranger. So this is meant to be in a thriller style, but it's set in fantasy. So I've got to work on my thriller style, but anyway. Gruff woke to the banging on his front door. He cursed under his breath and stroked his long greying beard. What now? He sleepily clambered out of bed. The banging matched his throbbing head. Vague glimpses of last night at the Rusty Axe Tavern flashed before his eyes. How much did I drink? He shook the thought loose, made his way downstairs, thanking the god Urcry for the darkness the dawn shutters provided. Stop your noise, he roared. Unlatching the locks, he reluctantly pulled back the door. Squinting, he failed to recognise the tall figure already pushing their way in. You've got to help, the voice blurted. Gruff could smell panic mixed with her spiced perfume. He shut the door quickly behind her, glancing briefly to see if she had been followed. Once satisfied, Gruff turned to face his new, unexpected headache. Tall, yes, but most elves are tall compared to most races in Edra. Slender, yes, again, nothing unusual for an elf. Fine clothes, expensive, deep green, good breeding. However, the house of the oak leaf pendant, now that's something you don't see every day. Tea? Gruff asked. The stranger stopped and blinked. What? She couldn't comprehend. Tea, Gruff repeated. No, did you not hear me? You've got to help. Gruff shrugged. Suit yourself, he muttered and proceeded towards the kitchen. Stunned, she was not used to being treated this way. Please, you've got to come with me. Gruff ignored her pleas. The kettle was full and boiling on the stove. He filled the large teapot with loose tea and turned to face her. Sit, he said, cracking his first smile of the morning. The stranger looked at the crooked wooden table stacked with papers and parchments, then to the 3 haphazardly placed crooked chairs, also bound with papers and parchments. Gruff nodded and cleared one of the chairs of its load. The stranger reluctantly sat, bristling with frustration, as she watched the dwarf put the boiled water into the teapot. She took a deep breath to speak, but Gruff simply raised his hand. She stopped, confused. Seemingly from nowhere, Gruff had his pipe in his mouth and was lighting the tobacco, stoking the flames with each draw of breath. The lady shook her head. "That'll be the death of you." Gruff ignored her and continued to puff momentarily. Once satisfied his pipe was lit, he returned his attention back to the teapot. "Don't want to stew it," he said, and began pouring the tea into 2 cups. A splash of goofus bird milk, and Gruff placed the stranger's tea onto the small space of visible table. Sitting in the opposite chair, with tea in hand, Gruff simply said, "Begin at the beginning." A wave of relief came over the stranger as she absent-mindedly took the cup in front of her and took a small sip. "My name is Maribel Riverbirch. I'm from the elven house of the Oak Leaf." Gruff nodded. I am Lady Amara Oakleaf's lady-in-waiting, and as such I'm privy to extremely sensitive information." She paused and took another sip of tea. Gruff continued to puff on his pipe, intensely concentrating. "Only this morning, Lord and Lady Oakleaf received guests, ambassadors from the Ogar Republic." The coughing and spluttering from Gruff on his pipe interrupted Maribella's flow. She waited patiently for the dwarf to stop before resuming. "The Ulgar Republic has closed its borders for over 200 years, yet the ambassadors made their way from Shattershield City to us in secrecy, wearing simple peasant clothes, seeking an audience with our house on Beggar's Day." Gruff balked at the thought. Shattershield is the capital city of the Ulgar Republic, a sprawling, grimy, overcrowded city under the control of the Ulgar Emperor. The Ulgar Republic's northern border ran across 2 other countries in Edra, Estrian and Atros. Gruff had always thanked Ulfgar, I can't even read my own writing, Ulfgar, dwarf god of luck, that he lived in the city of Lantern's End in Atros, over 10,000 leagues from the Ulgar Republic and Shattershield. Dark, mysterious tales about the kingdom were told to dwarven children as bedtime horror stories. Once they were received in the Great Hall, they presented a scroll bearing the Emperor of Ulgar's seal. As you can imagine, this raised concern. Once my lord and lady read the letter, all were dismissed except the ambassadors, myself, and my Lord Royal's royal advisor. Maribella paused, took another sip of her tea, her eyes never leaving Gruff's intense stare, despite the puffs of smoke rising to the ceiling. When her nerves calmed, she continued. "What was said next will change the future of Edra. You must swear never to reveal what I am about to tell you about to a living soul." Maribella waited for the dwarf's answer. Gruff nodded. "Swear," she commanded. "I swear," Gruff mumbled, but his eyes widened as Maribella produced a scroll from one of her long sleeves. He could see the Emperor's wax seal, broken in 2. "This letter must never, never be discussed outside this house. Civil war has broken out in the Ulgar Republic. The Emperor is ill, near death, and his eldest daughter, Aktara, has seized power, banning the rightful election, claiming she is now the chosen Empress." The silence sank into the air like a snake's teeth into rabbit's flesh. Gruff knew the rightful election was every citizen's right to vote for the next emperor or empress, the only country to do so in Edra. The war will be devastating and could even spill into Estrian and Atos. If not stopped immediately, it could consume all of Edra, plunging the realm into another blood age. "We need you to infiltrate Aktara's inner circle and find out her plans. You know why we have asked you. You must help." Gruff coughed a deep cough. He did indeed know why, and that is what scared him. Without another word, he stood up, filled the kettle with water, and placed it on the stove. There you go. There you go. So, that is my competition entry. And I I like doing the competition because it's kind of, it pushed me into a place that I hadn't really thought I would go. I've never really tackled big political politics in a fantasy setting, in a fantasy book. Most intriguing. Thank you very much, Sally. Yeah, Sally's not read it. Normally I ask Sally to proofread stuff, but she's been very, very snowed under herself. Snowed under herself. She's like that. Help, help. I'm snowed under myself. So, because this was a thriller, you know, part of the thriller genre is private eye, is spies, is that kind of thing. So I thought, oh, actually, the dwarf can be, you know, like a spy, a private eye kind of figure. And then I thought, well, what could be the emergency that, you know, what could be the case that this person's asked him to do? And then I thought, oh, maybe it could be more of a political thriller, more on the bigger scale. You know, like I'm reading the Dragonlance series at the moment, and you've got all the bigger, stuff going on, like Lord of the Rings. You've got all the bigger stuff going on, plus you've got the Frodo story, you know, the smaller stories. So this is kind of my version of that, trying to write a political thing, you know, about countries being taken over, war, intrigue, diplomacy, ambassadors, you spoilers, Ferrero Rocher, that kind of thing, plus keeping it personal. So you know, the personal aspect will be from Gruff's point of view, from the dwarf's point of view. So there we go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's all gone very quiet on the comments. People obviously are like, yeah, Ken, I stick to designing board games. Anyway, there you go. So that is so eventually I might pick that up. That might become an Edra Tales novel. Who knows? You decide. Oh, thank you, Martha. She's put, I need to hear more of that story. Okay, Jonathan's very diplomatically put, it's because we are listening intently. No, hopefully that is why. See, I don't know what the lag is on this either. That's my excuse. So anyway, yeah, so we will see. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with that. You know, it's a new character. I've not actually done any writing for a while because I've been doing other stuff, organising stuff. So that's quite nice to actually get back to writing. Anyway, we better wrap this up. It's been an hour now. Thank you so much for joining me. The next live stream is, we're going to be doing Lone Wolf. It is the Kingdoms of Terror. It's part 3. We have survived without losing a life. 6:30 Wednesdays. 6:30 Wednesdays UK time is when we're going to be doing the next game book, where you decide how the story unfolds. It's written by Joe Diva. These have sold over 12 million copies, the whole series worldwide. Hugely successful. Illustrations by Gary Chalk. And also, oh look, Richard Sampson has done Nergor. Francesco Mattaoli, can't pronounce that, and Lucas Thelin. So there's a few more. So it's not so they must have added to the images from the original publication. This is the definitive collection. So we're going to be doing that on Wednesday. Join us there. And then my other live streams that I do is Friday 7 p.m. UK time. We do a video game live stream. It's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I wasn't kidding, Ken. I need to read a story about Gruff the Dwarf Texan. Oh, well, thank you. That's good. Good. I like that. Well, that's good. Well, that could be my next Edra Tales novel then. You know, I've got lots of short stories that I thought I could expand into novels, but that could be the next one. Hopefully things don't figuratively go south, like we literally did in the last cliffhanger. Oh, yeah. Yes. We had a lot of fun with Lone Wolf last time. We're not doing too badly though. We haven't got a lot of gold. We're a bit short of gold, but we haven't yet died. We've made a few kind of decisions that could have gone better. Put it that way. We decided to steal some horses. Maybe it wasn't the best idea, but hey, our friend was kidnapped. We needed to get there quickly. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I do appreciate that. Thank you if you're watching this back either on Twitch or on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please follow the channel. and click the notification buttons. That would help a lot. One gold coin left. Yeah, like Ishmael in the opening of Moby Dick. Again, I've not seen Moby Dick. I've not even read Moby Dick. I kind of know what it's about. It's not about the whale. So thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Lerin. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you to anyone else that has joined in that I've not given a name shout. I think that's everybody. Thank you if you are just watching and you haven't commented. I really, really appreciate it. If you would like to comment, though, on Twitch on the live stream, you do need to follow the channel. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Have a good week. Thank you very much. Yes, have a lovely, lovely week, everybody. And may the magic of stories flow through you always.